last weekend I took some time off to go down to hang out at the beach with my family, and we noticed that there was a ton of trash on the beach. This video was very inspired by this woman that I follow on Instagram. I'll go ahead and leave her handle right here. She basically does a lot of different beach cleanups, and it's really inspiring to see how much stuff she's able to prevent from ending up in our oceans, and she keeps our beaches clean. So I wanted to do something like that with my family. To be completely honest with you, it did get a little discouraging at times because there was so much stuff on the beaches, and no matter how much stuff we picked up in any given area, we would take a step and there would be so much more. But we did our best, and it was really cool to see the kids getting involved, my cousin and all her friends, because I know how something like this had a lasting impression on my life path, so I can only hope that it did something similar for them.
Hey guys, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and today I'm joined by
Madison, Shelby's girlfriend.
Nope, you're not my girlfriend anymore.
Fiance.
She's my fiance now. Anyway, today we're gonna do something different, and instead of going through a typical dumpster like you guys are used to seeing us go through, we're gonna be showing you some of the trash that we found on the beach, because a lot of people seem to think that the oceans are their dumpster, and we just want to demonstrate to you guys what types of things are ending up in our oceans, what types of impacts that can have on the marine life here, and why you should stop using a lot of the things that we found, especially when you're taking a trip to the beach. So if you're interested in that, what should I do, babe?
Stay tuned.
So we're just gonna put on some gloves for you guys. And we have some bags here. We have 3 bags that we found so far, and we're just gonna go through and I guess show you some of the interesting things we found and some of the things that we found a lot of. Okay, so one of the things we found are these very common 6-pack plastic rings. I think most people know that these are really bad for marine life because they can get stuck around their throat, really easily swallowed up.
I don't know, just think of that picture that I feel like everyone's seen floating around on the internet of the turtle that got stuck in it when it was little, and then it grew and it couldn't grow properly, so the turtle's midsection was kind of like suppressed due to it growing inside of a 6-pack holder.
Yeah, and so a way that a lot of people say you can, you know, stop that from happening is if you cut into each ringlet, which they didn't do, whoever threw this out. But more than that, you can buy sodas without these, and I would say that's the best way to go about it. Or I'm sure Madison has another recommendation, which would be
just to not kid it at all. Drink water and bring your reusable.
Yes.
And then next, we found plastic bags out of the wazoo in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. And it's just absolutely ridiculous because there are so many different options. You can carry your whatever you buy from the grocery store if it's not too many things. You can use a reusable bag. Like, it's an issue, guys. Like, we have so much plastic filling up our beaches.
Completely preventable. Yeah. Completely unnecessary.
It just really sucks.
So they should, in order to fix this, bring your reusables. And really, we should start petitioning to get beach cities to ban plastic bags, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's one grocery store on this island, and we went there and I told her I didn't need a plastic bag, but she was pretty pushy about giving me a plastic bag. And I think that if you live in an area like this, or if you can, start a petition in that area to get plastic bags banned. I think that's something we could be working towards.
Definitely.
Yeah. Then another thing that we found a lot of are plastic bottles, of course. I'm sure you can imagine. Now, Gatorade you can't really get in a reusable bag or in a reusable bottle, but really Gatorade isn't the best for you. I think for a long time it was marketed as a health drink, like to help replenish your electrolytes and stuff, but really it's just really full of sodium and sugar.
I agree with that 100%. You hit the nail on the head, baby.
Okay, yeah, so that's the thing for Gatorade. Also for sodas, but for water, obviously, bring a reusable, get an insulated bottle. I'll link my favorite one in the description box. It'll keep your stuff cold all day, and if you need to get more, you can carry one of those 5-gallon coolers like they used to do back in the day before we had all of these plastic bottles, and then you won't have any waste.
Next up, we have this. Now, for those of you who don't know what this is a fidget spinner. They're cheap, they're gimmicky, and they're absolutely just a fad that people are going to be done with in like 3 or 4 months. And it's just crazy to see something like this already washing up on our beach. Like, you think of plastics that sit in the ocean forever washing up on the beach, but no, this is like, what did these started coming up like 2 or 3 months ago, and they're already ending up on our beach. Like, come on, guys.
Are you fucking kidding me? Already winding up on the fucking beach. These things are so stupid, wasteful, gimmicky. How do you feel about this?
Ridiculous. I can't believe we just found a
honestly,
crazy fidget spinner.
Really though. Oh, it's missing all of its little things. You guys have to understand that when they sell things like this, they're so cheap and shitty that they end up on the beach and in the ocean.
Bad.
Yeah.
Like, people will be over this in like 3 months.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's what really bothers me about trends like this and why I'm not participating in the fidget spinner trend, because it will die off, and then kids that have tens, dozens of these already will just throw them out, and hopefully they end up in a landfill, which is a weird thing to hope for. Regardless, they're going to be producing greenhouse gases while they're breaking down, filling up our land, if not our oceans. So I would highly encourage you guys not to participate in these stupid little trends. They've been marketed as anxiety and ADHD helpers, and in my opinion, they're just distracting us more from what we should be, you know, paying attention to, our issues. So yeah, definitely skip out on the fidget spinner trend.
Therapy, not fidget spinners.
Then we found quite a few of these ropes, which I guess is would be expected because they're used at the sea. But the problem with these are people think of them as just, I guess, disposable. If something breaks off into the ocean, doesn't even try to go get it. Maybe, like, I don't know what the particular situation with this was, but if you guys drop something into the ocean, let's try to pick it up. That's all I can really say about this one. Do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, when you look at rope, maybe someone was using that for fishing or crabbing, and you really have to be careful with that stuff, because all the stuff that we found on the beach is just stuff that's light enough to float to the surface and then be washed up on the beach. But there are plenty of things like rope, cages, fishing line that get tangled in aquatic life, and it's just not good for our marine ecosystem. So
be careful with stuff like this, guys. Beer cans. Obviously there's a lot of beer cans on the beach. People come to the beach to party and drink, and it can be really easy once you get intoxicated to not care so much about where your waste is going and disposing of it correctly. But guys, we don't drink, so we can't really speak to that. But just try to be careful when you're down here doing stuff like this. I'm not going to tell you never to drink, never to have a good time, but try to be responsible and at least throw it in the trash. If you can't get it to a recycling bin, which would be preferable, maybe your plan before you go can be to have a designated trash bag or trash can where everyone can throw their beer cans, and then you can recycle it afterwards. I mean, that's my best recommendation.
And then while we're on that topic, just go ahead and throw in designated driver as well. Be safe, be good to the environment, have a great time.
Yeah.
And the last thing we want to show you guys, this little dude right here. So when you go to the beach, things are cheap and poorly made, and people grab tons of it. Exhibit A, beach flops. All over the beach we're finding shoes in different shapes and sizes, and people really don't care because that probably costs like $2. You go to the beach, you use it once or twice, and then it ends up washed up on the beach.
Yeah, so I'm always preaching to you guys about quality over quantity. If you purchased one pair of shoes that actually like cost you money, you would be more likely to keep up with it. It would be better quality, so it would last you longer and it wouldn't end up in the ocean like this guy's did. So in closing, I just want to say I hope this gets you guys to think a little bit more when you're taking your trips to the beach, but also in your everyday life. You can avoid pretty much everything that we showed you today, or make better choices about how you dispose of your items.
Yeah, so definitely when you're out there at the beach, remember that that you can buy stuff that's good quality so that it lasts longer, so that you're not throwing it on the beach like some of the things that we showed you today. And remember that everything that you do throw out, it washes back up or it hurts our marine ecosystems. So be cautious while you're at the beach having a great time.
Alright guys, well we'll see you next week. So remember, until next time, create the peace.
YouNow guy. He's like, damn it, put me down!
No animals were harmed in the making of this production.